Hey, Grandpa.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you? You drinking your water?
I gotta drink some more. I drank some water. I think the water made me feel better too. I think.
Yeah. You got to ask. I would like. I like to believe that it did.
Yeah, I drank some water. I mean, because I hadn't been drinking no water. I've been drinking everything but water lately.
All right,
And
you
then
got.
before when I was headed to the going to the spa, I drank a lot of water.
You got to drink water.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding out. Well, I've been knowing you gotta drink water, but I've been kind of laxed in drinking the water.
You can't be lax with it. You got to. You got to stay on it.
Yeah.
Just sending the invites now to people to join.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You got to make sure they get on here.
All right. Yeah, I've been kind of lazy. I've been laying up. I just this week got up. I've been sort of. I don't know what that sort of mean, but I ain't been active this morning.
Sort of, kinda.
Is
Sort of, kinda. You know how it is.
it right now?
I like how they like how the painting's going inside the house.
Oh, so you like how the painting is going?
Yeah, yeah. I like how the painting's going inside the house.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Just
Yeah,
waiting.
when they get it all painted up and get some carpet in here, maybe look like somebody live here.
Oh yeah, I think it looks fine. Let me see here. I'm
I got
trying to get I'm
scattered everywhere.
trying to get Uncle Pooh Bear to join. Hopefully he didn't forget.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's on Facebook. I'll send him a message real quick. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Let me see where is it at. Send him a message. I'm gonna put the stream on what's it called, Facebook too. Get our counts up. You know how it is, Grandpa.
So you got to put the what now?
Just let's put it on. I'm posting it so people can see us live. We're live again.
Oh, you posted it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're doing live shows now. Now that we've figured out how to do it.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're trying to be spiffy.
We since we doing live, I'm gonna have to uh prepare. Well, I don't know what
Oh no, you're golden, Grandpa. You're definitely where it's at.
somebody from the past.
Oh what? Past what?
Just somebody from the past, living in the past.
Oh, Grandpa, you're living in the now, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness. Just making sure stuff is connecting properly. What do you got today, Grandpa?
Wow. I forgot. I ain't got nothing.
You got your beer?
All right. Well, I got. I think there's one down in the refrigerator. Why you want me to go get it?
Yeah, that's the part. That's the biggest part of the show.
Well, lately we ain't been. I mean, had some Kool-Aid. All right, be right back.
All right, all right. Like you gotta have it. Okay. Okay, we're getting big now, folks. Oh
How's it
wow,
going?
good man. My grandpa's just getting his beard, dude. You came
I
in.
hear you. Happy to
Oh,
be here.
Happy to have you, dude. We're just waiting for him to come back. I think one more person is going to join.
I gotcha.
So
I'm gonna retreat to the safety of my basement.
Oh yeah, I understand. Oh, it's 2 G's. I typed it in wrong. Man, I'm telling you. There. Okay. Check this out. It's gonna be a good one, man. I think told my grandfather our topic today, because this has been such a big thing. Talking about constructive ways for police reform as opposed to just
Apparently
dropping
my basement's
bombs.
not a good place.
Instead of just dropping bombs on this, like what people keep saying, defunding. Like there's not going to be police, which I don't think is real. Like you gotta, like they're going to still have police, but I don't know. People want to jump to conclusions early.
Sorry, I missed that last part. My basement apparently doesn't like my internet right now.
Oh, that's fine. I was saying that I was saying that. Oh, hold on. All right, so he's not back yet. Well, I guess he's still grabbing his beer. So yeah, like normally, if you've never seen the show before, we kind of do a format where we rate our beers first, and then kind of get into a topic. I was told Grandpa yesterday that we probably do something about. We'll talk about how this police reform thing is going and how some people are, I think, going over the deep end, thinking there's not going to be police at all, which I think is just irrational.
It is irrational.
It's just fear mongering. Like, there's no way in the world we're going to go from having, the police as we have it now to no police. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, we're not going to go from 150,000 to 0.
Yeah, I mean, like just the financial implications of having that many people lose their jobs is going to be extreme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know there's a place in New Jersey that they disbanded their entire police force several years ago and then made everybody reapply for their own jobs. And they've done a pretty good job with building that up and changing culture. And, that's probably a step in the right direction.
Yeah. Steve, is you? You muted
Yes, sir. I'm right here.
Oh, I thought you were video calling in.
Oh no, I gotta. Nah, cause that's the company. The company's Zoom will pop up on that one, so I'm all right on that.
Oh, that's fine, man. I'm just waiting for my. Oh, here's my grandpa now. Hey, grandpa.
Yeah.
This is
Good
my.
morning. Well, ain't good morning. Good afternoon.
This is
Good afternoon.
My friend Beckett and my friend Steven. The one you can't see is Steven.
Yeah. I can't see.
The one Steven is the one you can't see. Beckett is the one you can see.
Oh, okay. Have I met him before?
No, you haven't met him yet.
Oh, okay.
Nope, I've seen you on the internet a few times.
I'm a celebrity then.
You are.
Yeah, but Grandpa Taylor, that's me. Old man watching his generation disappear and the new one coming up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's get started then, Grandpa. Wanted to get through the drinking portion of it.
Yeah, you didn't get in touch with Pooh.
No, he said he's gonna be late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And somebody's on here I can't see is
Steven.
Okay, this is
Yes,
Steven.
Steven's the one you can't see. Beckett is the one you can see.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Steven, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. I expect.
Good.
Getting by. I have to, if we're gonna we were talking about beer. The beer disappeared. Some bandit came and got it, so I'm gonna have to talk about the virtues of drinking orange juice. I thought there was a lot of it down there going on, and there was none. So
Fair enough.
my thing is, orange juice is as good as beer.
Well, what brand of orange juice? You got to at least rate the orange juice.
How about Kroger's?
All right, Kroger. I'll solid. Well, I got El Tez.
Altez, hey.
Yeah,
I haven't had that.
Original Detroit Lager.
I haven't had that in quite a while. Altez.
I just saw it at the store yesterday, so I picked it up. So
I didn't know they still made it.
I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, I thought it went by the way of. You ever heard of Pipe? Yeah, you've heard of Piper, haven't you?
Yeah.
Any of you? Or just before your time?
Oh, you heard of
it? It was a Detroit local beer. It was well, I was going to say about Piper. Anyway, it had a jumbo elephant was on the bottle, I believe it was, on the jar. And well, I can see that. That's what happens when you start getting some age. You can't even finish your conversation before you lose half of it, But anyway, that was the beer. The jumbo was the first beer that came in a 32-ounce bottle, and that was the beer of the time, along with the Goebel and Altus and Stroh's. Those are all local, they were Detroit branded beer. Oh, yeah.
What you got, Beckett?
I got a Founders Porter. It's one of my more favorite beers. So
Founders Porters.
Yep, Founders Porter.
Is Founders made in Michigan?
Yeah.
I never heard of the Founders Porter. Well, there's a lot of beer I ain't heard of, but
yeah, Founders. Yeah, it's out of I think their primary spot is out of down near Marshall.
Marshall. Oh, that's what
Sorry, I'm confusing my other favorite beer place up in Grand Rapids for Founders.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
What's that?
Marshall, right outside of Jackson, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Not far from Jackson.
Yeah. Okay. Between Jackson and Battle Creek. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in Calhoun County. It's on the edge of Calhoun. Marshall's on the edge of Calhoun County, going towards Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, what is Steven? What is he? Is he?
I think he may have dropped off.
Yeah, it looks like he just dropped off.
And he dropped out.
He said he was at work, so I don't know. Maybe he got to jump on a call, but it's cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, we'll get him back.
But let me
for now.
One more time. What's the name of that beer?
Which one? Mine?
Yeah,
it's just a Founders Porter.
Okay, I gotta try that. Founders Porter.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a little heavier. It's not quite like a Guinness, but it's halfway between a domestic Pilsner and a Guinness.
Oh, okay. Can that beer be found anywhere?
Yeah, it's a pretty widespread one.
Oh, okay.
They sell it all over the country. I've bought it when I've been on vacation down in like Florida and South Carolina and stuff.
Okay. But you can buy it right here in Michigan, you say?
Yep. Yeah, you can find it almost everywhere in Michigan. Myers carries it. I know a lot. I know I've seen it at Kroger's in Lansing before. You can probably find it just about anywhere.
Oh, okay. That's something new to me, because I don't recall seeing it before.
Yep.
Well, good.
Want to rate your orange juice first, Grandpa? Let's get the rating.
Yeah. Ain't much rating on it, It goes with the rest of the orange juice.
What is that? A solid 5 then?
I have to at least give it a 5, right?
Yeah, you gotta at least give it a 5.
Yeah, you can't even go lower than a 5 on orange juice,
Yeah, it's a solid breakfast drink. It helps get you throughout the day. If you see the door move, it's because my son is continuously trying to come in the room.
I know how it goes. If you see me put it on mute, it's because my kids my 2 boys are beating the crap out of each other.
Oh.
and I got to break it up.
Oh goodness. Well, let me bust this down. So I never had this before. So let me give a.
You mean you never had altars?
This is the first time I've ever seen this. This is it has a slight aftertaste of like a bitter flavor, but it's pretty good. I'll give it a. I'll do Grandpa a solid, sir. I'll give it a 6.75.
That's you never heard of it. And that was a beer of choice.
It's not bad. It's a good drinkable beer. It's definitely something you can get like a case of at a sporting event that you're tailgating at, drink it throughout the day, something like that. You know,
Yeah, okay.
bar. It's a solid beer.
I know what it is about the altars. It's that, advertisement. They probably don't even have any media time, like Altus and Stoles and all the other beers that I used to love. You don't see them on there because.
Well, no, this is they're bring. So the can says we're proud to bring this back. So like, I guess they're relaunching this.
Yeah, well, they ain't been on TV.
No, so this might be new. This might be redone.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to save you a can, Grandpa, and bring it down so you can try the new formula.
It should bring back memories.
There you go. What about you, Becky? You wanna knock yours out?
Yeah. So mine's good for what I'm doing right now because I'm sitting inside of an air conditioned house.
Oh, yeah.
Inside of an air conditioned house, it's a solid 7.5. If you were outside drinking in 80-degree plus heat, it'd be about a 4.2. It's not a good summer outdoor on the deck beer. It's a good, if you're going to have a couple while tailgating when it's, 55 degrees outside or inside of your house, it's a solid beer.
Yeah. Okay. My background. Oh, let me get this light out there.
Oh, I didn't. Well, thanks, Grandpa.
Background being, they was painting my headquarters up here. So everything is just laying around. I don't know how I'm ever get it back. Get it back together with all this stuff I got now. But
Well, Grandpa, I got Becky to come for this day because he's good. He's a scholar like me, and I think he'd have a lot of good information to say on this particular topic, like I was talking to you about yesterday about these. In the last week, we've been hearing a lot of news about sweeping police reform and even this defunding we've been hearing. So I mean, I know you had a lot to say about that, Grandpa. If you want to get into it.
No, I'm all ears.
All right, guys. Oh, fine. Go first, Becky.
What part of the topic you want me to address first?
Well, I remember me and Grandpa were talking about it just briefly about how it's less about. Oh, I don't want to paraphrase, Grandpa. You wanted to say what you're saying yesterday?
Did we talk about it yesterday?
We did.
Well, you're gonna have to lead me in because I don't remember even talking about it yesterday.
So we're watching. Well, the news was talking about how, what is it? Was it New York or L.A. where they're talking about just defunding their police and what that means, and like it's like I didn't read like any documents all the way. I just heard it on the news. So I'm like, so what does that mean? Like, does that mean they're gonna just? They said they're gonna try to take away.
No, I didn't know we talked about it though. But my understanding of it is they want to put just having a basic police force. They'll combine it with mental care. If you got a problem mentally, or it's sort of like where the firemen do certain things, and all be one big group rather than a police force. There'll be one big combined organization that handles all cases. So every case they ain't gonna call for no policeman. That's my understanding.
Yeah, I think there's a move for a lot of organizations to move towards more comprehensive stuff.
Yep.
I'm not sure which way the police are going to go with it, if they're going to get defunded to focus just on policing or if they're going to branch out so they've got mental health professionals and things like that. What I think about a lot is, I'm good friends with, I'm a criminal defense attorney in Kalamazoo, and I'm good friends with the director of and a lot of the attorneys at the Kalamazoo Public Defender's Office. And when they came about, they kind of did a comprehensive plan, and they're putting that into action right now. I was actually just there before I got on this call. And what they're doing is they've reached out to community organizations, and instead of just having those resources where they can pick up the phone and call, they've actually got it set up so that an individual from, the Kalamazoo Public Library, from community mental health, from a number of organizations that deal with residency issues and things like that are all in the same building. And that way, when they have clients come in, criminal defense clients, you're not just talking to the attorney about the issue that's straight in front of the face. So I would say 95% of my clients and my issues are related to mental health and drug addiction. And then when you talk about mental health and drug addiction, underlying each of those issues are usually a myriad of issues related to residency issues, domestic violence in the past, can be sexual assault in the past. And if you're going to affect recidivism, it's not just arresting and rearresting people. It's all right, you're in here for assaulting somebody with a knife. It's on video, you're going to get found guilty. And the question is, do we want to throw you away, put you in jail and tell you to figure it out on the back end? Or do we want to deal with some of those underlying issues that got you to this point in the first place? I think policing is probably going to end up going in that same direction. I know a number of police officers locally as well as outside of Kalamazoo who welcome that approach. Not sure they'd be willing to say it openly, but there's clearly got to be a change, in my opinion.
Everyone knows Uncle Pooper, but Uncle Pooper, this is my friend Beckett.
Hey,
Beckett, how you doing?
How you doing?
We kind of did our beer review. If you want to catch up on that, but we're talking about this what it means, what people are saying with this quote unquote police defunding and reform and all that.
Okay, go ahead. I gotta go get my beer. I just got off a call, so I was like, let me just jump in. So I gotta go grab my beer. So y'all can continue to engage. I'll be right back.
You gonna go out and find out there ain't no beer. Bring some orange juice just in case.
Is that what you drinking? That orange juice?
Yeah, I went down to get me a cold one, and there wasn't no cold one. There was nothing in there,
Well, if I come back with tears in my eyes, that's what happened to me. So
okay.
Oh, super. You might actually like Beckett's beer. He's got some Founders.
Oh, okay. Founders. Yep. What?
I got a porter today.
The porter. Okay. All right. Yep. Yeah.
I found some
I've never had that one, but looking at the can, it doesn't look like a good beer.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, man, it was definitely interesting. Like I've seen, like when I initially heard about this police defunding, I was just like, it doesn't, like in my mind, I didn't think that they were going to erase police. Like that wasn't the first thing. No. Like I thought that maybe they wouldn't spend so much on militarizing them, maybe, but maybe they would spend
more. That militarization would probably be in part of the mix too. Like it's comprehensive, whereas it won't be just the police department, or it'll be a combination of things where other problems can be solved too. If you call 911, you might, have a combination of things that you can get in touch with,
But isn't that what 911 is supposed to be anyway? Like I thought it wasn't. I thought it was like a dispatch system.
Yeah, but most counties in Michigan have, in the last few years since I've been practicing, have gone to centralized dispatch. So like a county where, depending on where you lived or where you were calling from, it used to be you might get connected to one of several dispatch 911 centers. Most of them are all now one. And the problem with that is that, they've had to make it more simplistic because of that. So when you call into dispatch, you're only going to the police. And the police officer who comes on scene, once they get an idea of what's going on, may, if they know what they're doing, call CMH or, another organization to come in and aid. but that initial phone call is going to the police officer. That police officer is not well trained in, mental health issues. You may have a problem on your hands that's beyond what the call was for.
Yeah, a perfect example of what you're saying is my son's one that just was here. His youngest son was staying with us in during the summertime. Me and my wife were discussing something. He thought we were arguing, Oh, he might have been about 5 years old. But he went and dialed 911, So I'm out there cutting the grass. Next thing I know, SWAT team comes up. He said, call from here. I said, no, ain't nobody called from here, not knowing that he had called, But evidently, they can trace where the call came from, So they said, well, maybe I ain't being kind of upright truthful, in that. And so my wife came out, and he came out. I think the officer might have asked him, did you hit 911? And he said, yeah. So it was kind of comical in a way, but that 911 call brought the police, the SWAT team,
Yep.
I don't know.
Wait, so the SWAT team? That's a quick escalation. Like there's like no barrier between that and the SWAT team?
Well, when I see SWAT, it had to be SWAT team, because they were dressed they weren't just ordinary police clothing, but they had prepared for, different types of.
Wow, I had not heard that story.
Oh yeah,
that's interesting.
Freddie will tell you about it.
I guess the biggest thing that I've seen is when I've seen people respond to this is, other than people assuming there's not going to be police, is what about we just train them more? What about stuff like that? And I'm thinking, like, I mean, I've seen the posts where people are talking about, like, you got to have 2 such years to be a nail tech before you can do this, that, and the third. And I'm just thinking, like, why is it so much anger towards changing how the police are, but then wanting to change how the police are? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm confused at why is it such huge different polar opposites of like upsetness towards the situation? Like, people are saying, yeah, I agree, police should change, but I don't think they should change by defunding them, without actually understanding what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a racial reaction. I mean, if you just want to be honest about it, I mean, it's, I'm white, I'm from a pretty poor neighborhood growing up. So I think I see a little bit of a different side of it.
Where are you from?
I'm from the north side of Lansing.
Oh, okay.
So I see it a little differently than, some of the people that I interact with every day on a daily basis. But, you say defund the police, and to be frank, white people by and large go, oh my God, it's just going to be chaos. No. Mm-hmm. I see it from a different perspective because of what I do too. And I see it from 95% of the police calls are, a lot of them, frankly, are things that 100 years ago you wouldn't have thought the police going in to do a call for. They're asked to do a lot of really mundane things that don't make sense to me. I got no problem with them investigating murders, robberies, arsons, rapes, etc. But do I think that we need a phone call to the police because a homeless man didn't wake up when you yelled at him because he was on your property? No, probably not. I think the view of what police are supposed to do is different from a racial perspective. And I think that it's a problem that's kind of inherent in the system. So
I remember reading a thought, I don't know, what was it called, think piece, where it was describing historically how the police weren't made necessarily designed to protect people, but it was more designed to protect capitalism, in the sense that the police are designed to protect businesses and not people. And I think people are starting to see that you can call the police, and like whenever the policeman shows up, they're like, the police are like, this is what we heard. It's kind of like whoever calls the police first is in the right. Like, especially in domestic violence. Like if whoever calls them first, they're there to help that person who called, even though they might see the person who got called on is the one who got abused. because you didn't call first, you're assumed to be the guilty party, which I never understood that. It's not like a reconciliation situation where you're calling. It's more of a punishment situation when you call the police. And that just seems interesting because like you would think that, you know, someone who's an officer has the mental capacity to observe a situation, see, you know, what's going on, investigate, and not automatically escalate it to the next level. And I'm not saying that happens all the time, but like in the events that it does escalate, I'm like, what really goes wrong when those situations where people are like, I'm here, I'm on the scene, I got to go act real quick. It's not like it's 0 to 100 as soon as they get out the car. Which, I mean, again, that's not happening all the time. It's actually happening a lot less than projected because it's what, a few hundred cases of death, but there's probably a few thousand cases of actual abuse. But
Yeah.
I'm talking for police brutality, and that's for everybody, not just saying for Black people. But it's just interesting to see the statistics of it, to see people's reaction statistics, and think, oh, this isn't really a problem. And just because it's not a, you know, it's not like thousands upon millions of people getting assaulted all the time doesn't necessarily mean something shouldn't change. Like there's things called microaggressions, and apparently
sure.
they haven't taught that in school, that microaggressions can happen in the thousands. Like I'll go back to saying, talk about domestic violence. Microaggressions happen so often in interpersonal relationships that though it's not assaulting someone physically, there's still like mental emotional damage that goes on for years in certain situations. And then people just think, oh, you're just not being tough, or you're not being smart, or, you know, why can't you handle certain things? But in the case of people in or the case of a police officer, your job is to handle microaggressions all day, every day. And if you're not trained properly to be able to handle and navigate through those avenues, you're going to see these situations continue to happen. And then people were like, why defund? It's like, it's just like a weird word war, because the moment they saw defund, they automatically thought zero police, as opposed to, well, where's this money going to go to help improve the situation? Because critical thinking is not necessarily a thing. It's not a mob think thing.
Well, it's interesting sometimes too, because I think about, you know, what I do, and obviously all I've ever done is criminal defense. I've never prosecuted or anything like that. But I have been asked, and I've done it numerous times now, to go into the cadet training program at one of the cadet training programs here locally in Kalamazoo and train. And what I train on is how to deal with cross-examination, because if you're a police officer, clearly you're going to get cross-examined by somebody like me routinely. And, you know, what I always find funny coming out of the thing is how little time is clearly spent on the 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment. And from a policing standpoint, that's what you're dealing with. I mean, from a constitutional rights perspective, on a daily basis, you're going to encounter the 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment, period.
What are those for the people watching at home?
All right. So 4th Amendment, you got your search and seizure issues. 5th Amendment, easiest way, you know, layman's terms, is pleading the 5th, not speaking to the officer, you know, exercising essentially your Miranda rights. And then 6th Amendment, your right to confrontation of your accusers and your right to counsel. Those are your primary things as a police officer from a constitutional perspective that you're going to run into. So when I do the trainings, every single time, it's the same basic layout that we do. The trainees investigate a fake crime. It's always an armed robbery, and there's always a hit and run secondary to it. And then the two crime scenes come together, and then I'm the defense attorney, and da 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 da. Every single year, without fail, at least 2 of the trainees who actually had contact with my client fail to Mirandize them. I mean, it's almost comical. And then almost every year, I seem to, you know, have a conversation with one of the trainees afterwards where they argue with me about the fact that I'm wrong. You know, I've been doing this for almost a decade, but, you know, I'm an idiot, and, you know, they didn't have to read Miranda and this, that, and the other. And, you know, they only spend a few hours on it before they interface with me in that cross-examination scenario. And even after that cross-examination scenario, which is at the end of the cadet training course, they probably only spend an additional few hours on it. And once that cadet training course is over, it's badge and gun time, right? So you know, it worries me that the physical portion of it is necessary, in my opinion. They need to, you know, understand what to do in certain situations and this, that, and the other. But the mental component of it, in my opinion, is far more important in their day-to-day job. And from a training perspective, it is largely ignored.
I got a quick question about that. So if someone like makes that error of not reading the random rights for a police officer, do you know what penalty they actually have to face, or is it just like a clerical thing?
There's no penalty.
In the police selection forces, some of the people that are hired onto the police force come in there with the ego on their shoulders, and they tend to be not suitable to be policing because they come in there with the thing of, you got the power of life and death, you know. And so if you come in there with that ego of saying, you know, I'm the person, you know, then you don't even have time to even confront somebody about, you know, this person, you want to know, you get real violent, you know. There should be some way that you can weed out people who don't belong on the police force. I think
most countries, you have to go through a mental health component where they essentially do a psychological evaluation, a very in-depth psychological evaluation of you before you can be on the force. I believe there are some forces that do that in the United States, but to my knowledge, it's not even close to the degree that most countries do it.
Yeah, I would go along with that. But
I mean, I've been saying it since probably a year and a half into practice, and it took me about a year and a half into practice to become really jaded. I wasn't all that jaded when I started practicing law, but about a year and a half into practice, I became very jaded because you see the same things happen over and over again. And, you know, there aren't really any repercussions. If I screw up in a jury trial, though, like let's say that I don't interview a witness and that witness ends up having an alibi for my client, and I screw up, I get disbarred, or at a minimum, I get suspended for at least 6 months. Lose my license. I'm not allowed to make money. I'm not allowed to do anything. If I practice law during that time period, I'll get disbarred for sure. And on the flip side, you know, you got qualified immunity.
Yeah.
So.
all right, buddy.
Well, I don't know exactly what y'all talking about, but that, you know, that's pretty much the issue.
The topic is, what does what is all this past week people have been talking about in the news? Police defund this and that. And what does that actually mean? And my friend Beckett here is a defense attorney. He's in the law, so he kind of has a better understanding than I would. So I asked him to come on.
Okay, that was still an extension of that conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, at the end there, like what he said was the truth. I mean, there's no teeth behind any of this. So like the dude, the guys will murder and kill somebody, they'll get fired from the job, and then they'll just go around the corner and work at the next precinct. Like it's so crazy. This country is so, I don't even know what to say about it, but it's so interesting that a police officer can shoot and kill someone with no weapon on them on video, get fired, get a case brought up against them, have it dropped by the DA? Who decides? What's the grand jury? There we go. Have it dropped.
No grand jury in Michigan. In Michigan, it's all prosecutor discretion. So you just got
prosecutor discretion. All right, but it happens all around the country, right? It's the same scenario that happens. They shoot, they kill somebody on camera. It's chosen not to prosecute. They get fired. They go around and they work somewhere else. They never, and then on top of that, while they're going through, you know, oh, they got arrested, this and that, the country opens up GoFundMe accounts and then floods hundreds of thousands of dollars to people who murder someone on camera. So it's almost like a built-in incentive because you don't lose your pension. You can continue earning on your job. You don't lose the opportunity to work as a police officer. And the public is going to give you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars for murdering someone on camera as a police officer. Like, that's like,
Yep.
I mean, it's just built in a sentence, and there's no teeth around the law, around any of this. And I've been watching, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just launching, I'm catching
Oh, you're
up.
good.
But I've been watching all of these fake solidarity movements that really amount to nothing. Like,
Yep.
absolutely, like they're tearing down the monuments, right? Oh, they're tearing down these monuments. Tear down the institution. Don't tear down the damn the statue. Like, what is the statue doing? All they're doing is beating racism and bigots, outright bigots anyway, under the table so that it's hush hush again. They're just getting it out of the mainstream. It's not that it's going to end, it's they're just going to be quiet about it. And then now you're just going to have a continuation of the same thing without like the overtness of say a Trump or Bull O'Connor or something like that. Like, you knew where you stood with these individuals. Now you're just going to have more individuals that smile in your face and, you know, stab you in the back with a pen,
I mean,
like the politicians do.
Is an attack on the Islamic thing that's going on. What I'm trying to get across is, if you tear down Robert E. Lee, ain't that attack on the institution?
Tearing down a statue?
A statue of Robert E. Lee, because Robert E. Lee, you gotta remember, he was a traitor. There's no getting around it.
Okay.
Am I correct in that?
Yeah, those should have never been erected in the first place.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but since it's up,
he committed treason. Who puts
take down the statue too? We don't want no remembrance of somebody who betrayed their country. He had a choice of coming. You know, he could separate himself like he did from the Union. You know, he was a West Pointer, wasn't he?
He was.
Didn't he swear his allegiance to this country?
He did.
And then you turn around and you separate. What does that make you? It's the same right now. That makes you a traitor. Yeah. So with the statute goes along, to me now, the statute goes along with getting rid of the institution of bigotry or whatever it is that it calls it. You know?
It does. I think there's a bit of vacuum in leadership right now around, you know, what the future looks like. So you've got, and it's in part because of the internet. So you've got, you know, ideas spread quickly. You know, the defund the police was probably, you know, if it had been done by an organization, they probably would have thought more tactfully about the words that they chose to make it more appealing to the ear of, frankly, people that look like me. But, you know, no one knows what it looks like. And because no one knows what it looks like, it plays into people like Trump's hand. And I hate that motherfucker, but it plays into his hand because he can play the extreme of that and then scare people, again, that look like me, into believing that everybody else is radical. And really what everyone's asking for is pragmatic change. And frankly, change that's been talked about for a long time and is long overdue.
It's to piggyback more on what Uncle Pooh Bear was talking about, Grandpa, about the Robert E. Lee statue coming down. So he's saying. So did you see on the news how all those I think congressmen or whatever, they were wearing kente cloth scarves and they took a knee on live TV? Like, could you imagine if they came out and this happened to a Mexican person or a Latino person? They came out with sombreros and took a knee, or a Jewish person, they came out with their I'm forgetting. I don't know if they had their yarmulkes and took a knee. Like, it's wildly disrespectful and ridiculous. Like, I'm not even sure who told them to do that. But in what realm is like this? I've never, like, I'm not any other race. I don't know if this is happening to any other person. So forgive me, but in what realm is that acceptable? Because it seems only acceptable to be done to Black people. When something happens, you do some grand gesture, but you don't give them any tangible resources or change, and that's it. Because, like, it's like we're in a some parallel universe where you could throw a kente cloth on in group and take a knee, and that supposedly washes away everything that happened. I don't understand what that was about.
Well, it only happens to Black people because I say it, and it's harsh, but, you know, maybe I should adjust my language, but I say Black people are politically retarded. And I say that because you vote with your emotions and about what you think is right. And like nobody else is using their vote that way. People use their vote because they want something for it.
Mhm.
So like we're sitting around arguing about, oh, they're right. This is best for the country. Like nobody's voting that way. Like you hold your vote hostage and you say we either get X, Y, and Z or you don't get our vote, period. And that goes for Republicans, Democrats, or the Green Party. But we don't do that. When we were in the Republican Party, we just gave our vote to the Republicans. Now we're in the Democratic Party, we just give our votes to Democrats and never ask for anything. So you can do a lot of lip service and appeasement to a community that don't have any teeth. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I look at statutes that we have that I was looking at one today, and I was talking with another criminal defense attorney friend of mine. And one of the things we're looking at right now is teeth behind things that affect the police. And there's a statute in Michigan. It's MCL 78316, and it's a statute regarding what has to be done with body camera videos. And with body camera videos in the state of Michigan, there's a statute that says if a body camera video is created by a police officer, it's on their body and they're recording, they have to keep that video through the pendency of the criminal investigation, or if it's an internal investigation with the department, through the internal investigation. And when you read it at its face, it's great. You know, you're like, all right, good. You know, you're forcing them to keep these videos. But within the same frickin' statute, section 4 of the statute, it specifically says that if a body camera video is lost through technical or human error, then there is no presumption created against either the plaintiff or the defendant in the case. In other words, if the video is accidentally destroyed, because, you know, that happens, you know, they get accidentally destroyed, then it's not going to be held against the police. There's no presumption against the police, but they also put in there, there's no presumption against the defendant either. And I read that and I look at it and I go, why would there be a presumption created against the defendant in that situation? That's ludicrous. They have no control over the situation. But that's how we write statutes. And then what's vacant from that statute altogether is any idea that if the statute is violated, that there's any punishment. There is no punishment in that statute whatsoever for human error or technical error losing a video. There's just not. It doesn't exist. So you can create these laws and you can, you know, frankly, send them to the African-American community and say, look, what we're doing to try to reform things. Unless it has teeth, it's all just bullshit.
Right. So if you don't turn what if you don't turn your camera on knowingly? Is there a penalty for not, like, when you get involved in something and not? You say, well, I forgot to turn my camera on.
There's no law that says you have to turn it on in the first place.
That's what I'm asking.
Oh, okay.
So you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be, I mean, shit. I mean, there's counties in this state that have made a concerted effort not to purchase motor vehicle recordings in their cruisers and body cameras on their persons. I practice in counties where literally in 2020 on a simple drunk driving stop, there are no videos, period.
That's wow. I didn't know that. I always thought the camera situation was automatic. Like the car stops on, like in my mind, I just kind of hope for it. But that's just.
Oh yeah, I've heard police officers tell me on the stand that, you know, it wasn't working at the time and this, that, and the other, and it is automatic. You know, to turn it on and off, they have to do something, right? It comes on automatically. If they want to turn it off, then they have to turn it off.
Wow, and there's no penalty for that. That's intense. Well, see, because I was because I don't have knowledge just until you just told me this now. I was telling somebody yesterday. I was just like I would think the big help for all this, something simple. I don't know how, maybe simple is not a good term, but go back to like how it used to be. Like, I guess when Uncle Pooh Bear was younger, or like back when Grandpa was like in his 20s or whatever, police used to live and work in the communities they lived in. Like you got police now living 30 minutes away from where they work. So you don't learn about the community. You really don't learn who the problem people are. You don't learn what's not an issue or not. Like it's a cultural thing. Cause like when each community is its own culture. So you learn about it and you learn how to de-escalate. But I mean, like if you want to save money on train, just have people like live where you work. You know, you wake up in the morning, you police your area. And like, I don't even know. I can't even, if I had the data from like the 20s of how little police violence there was on a daily basis. I mean, there might have been more. I don't know because you know the people, but I would like to believe that you're less likely to harm people on like that that you see every day. Like, oh, I know that kid. He like I understand he has a mental illness. I know how to approach him. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's like an easy solution to a lot of these problems. Have people who are supposed to defend you be the people who live near you.
You know, prior to Blue Cross and Blue Shield and some of the other insurances when I was coming along, not only did the police, but the doctors lived in the neighborhood. You could go down the street and the doctor had his practice on the back porch, you know.
Yep.
But they didn't have this elaborate health insurance and stuff like that where they could separate themselves. So they're part of the community. I mean, they made a decent living, they're a doctor. But there's nothing like now where there's no neighborhood contact with the doctors like it used to be. That's why, my
I think a part of that has to do with the mercenary style of employment the current economy has people in. It's not a system where you get a job and you work like out of school and you're working for 30 years anymore. It's they want you for a specific purpose.
Oh, you cut out, Sean.
Yeah.
I see an air of silence there. Somebody speak up.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he'll have to reboot his internet or something, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right, well, I guess this is a good time for me to show my beer.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, you didn't show your beer. What are you drinking?
Yeah. Yeah. So I got let's see. Can you see that? So this is a milk stout. It's called Santa's Milk and Cookies.
Okay.
Santa's Cookies and Milk. I always get that backwards. 2018 by Hailstorm Brewery. Hailstorm is out here near me, right? I'm in outside of Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like southwest suburb. A Hailstorm makes some killer beer, man. Like, like they make some really good stuff.
I haven't had any of that yet. I'll have to try it sometime.
Yes, I don't know how far the distribution is. It may get into Michigan, being that we're so close. But this, every Christmas they make the Santa's Cookies and Milk. So this was 2018. I think 2017 was the first time I had it. 2017 was like a mint chocolate chip. It was delicious.
I could go for that.
Yeah, this is this one got like where did it go? Like it's like peppermint. I don't see the details, but it's got like a peppermint spice to it. It's all right. The other one was much better. The mint chocolate chip. Oh my God, that was like amazing. So this was a little bit of a letdown, but it's much better now. So it's 2 years old. I really didn't care for it when I actually had it the first time when it was fresh. It was much better this time. So I give it about a 7. I guess.
Nice.
Is that a kind of beer I can afford?
Yeah, you money bags, man. I know you can afford it. It don't cost what your orange juice costs. But
joking that, what did you say?
It costs a little bit more than that orange juice, but
I figured it did. That's why I said, well, give us an example. What a bottle like that cost?
Well, when it's fresh, this is about $24, $24, $25.
Can't afford. That's what I was asking.
Oh no, I know you can afford it. But this is a limited release, so they only made a little bit of this. That's why the price tag is a little crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was pretty good. It's pretty good. I wish I had like some lighter beers. Like all of my beer stash is all heavy stuff.
Yeah, that's what mine is right now too.
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing. Well, this one is 11 ABV. I like them big, but you know, you want something refreshing, right? You want to be able to pound a few. Like I only had nothing that's pound worthy. Like you gotta sip on it like, you know, like cognac or something.
Yeah, I got Bell's Brewery like 5 miles from my house, and I don't have any Oberon in my fridge right now, which is their kind of flagship beer.
Okay. Which brewery?
Bell's.
Bell. Oh, I love Bell's. Yeah. Bell's got some really good beer.
Yeah, it's like it's like 5 miles from my house.
Oh, nice. That's good. Do they serve food?
Yeah.
Does it have like an amazing kitchen?
They got a good kitchen. I wouldn't get to the point of amazing, but my standards are probably pretty high on that. But they got really good food. They do. The thing I'm missing right now is during the summers they do. They've got a beer garden behind the brewery, and they do a lot of live music type things, really? Like on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they actually keep a pretty good. Keep a pretty good run of stuff. So, but you know that's closed down right now.
Yeah, it kind of stinks. That sounds like Goose Island here in Chicago. They always got something going on.
Very similar.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, all of that is canceled for now.
Yep.
Joshua said, "Can we add him?" I don't know how to add people. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know how. Anybody know how to add somebody? Like, do we got to send it to him?
Okay, I got the number. You ready for it?
Like every other week, it's like something new, right? It should be invite on one of the options. Invite. Okay. All right, I got it. All right. I think I should be choose email service to send
$700 for their house insurance. That's what we're gonna get, you know.
Yeah, I just texted it to him.
Let's see.
Oh, okay.
What was the total?
Yeah, I guess he really did have to reboot his internet.
Yep. Yeah, it's like 5 miles from my house.
Oh, nice. That's good. All right, you back.
Yeah. Watching the YouTube feed.
I somehow made it back in. Thanks, Beckett.
Yep, no problem.
He had to make sure we wasn't trashing him when he left.
Oh no, it was weird, man. As I was getting to my point, like it's like literally in Detroit, the internet has been suspect like the past few weeks, and went out. But it's already back in now. It's still recording live to YouTube, so that worked out.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah. Pops is busy, so he's taking the call.
Oh, okay, it's cool. at least you got the time to rate your beer and talk about it. Cool.
Yeah. It's pretty good too. I shouldn't have cracked it yet, though. I'm messing with y'all. I got some work to do. But now I done, wet my beer palate. Want a little more,
Yep.
Well, definitely, man. But no, I appreciate everybody. It's always coming on to the show. We got. Beckett, you're always welcome to come back. It's my turn to watch the boy. Ashley's about to be in the meeting. You guys. But you dropped off, Beckett?
No, I'm here. If you can handle me talking too much, I'm happy to come on anytime.
Yeah.
I'm a lawyer, man. I accidentally talk too much every single time I talk.
Yeah, this was cool. All right, yeah, I can go and get back to work then, messing with y'all.
All right, man. It was great. It was great conversations. Thank you guys.
Yep.
I'll tell Grandpa thank you later. He's on the phone, but have a great day, everybody.
Yep. Enjoy your
All
day.
right.
Have a good one. Good meeting everybody.
Thanks for joining,
You too,
Uncle Pooh.
See you later, Pops.
All right, have a good one. Take care.
See you, Grandpa.
All right. Very good.